What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the conversation today. And today we're just going to deep dive a little bit more into what happened. Oh, wow. My hair's looking crazy today. Big up to everybody. Uh, I'm still pissed off about this. Crystal Palace and West Ham. Um, West Ham didn't do the business and needed to get this win so that we could bury that fucking bullshit club Tottenham. So they're leaving it open for themselves, but I don't see where Tottenham's getting 2 points, if I'm being quite honest with you, with everybody else. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up Toronto Gooner. Big up Jim. Big up Jim. J Lux, my bro. Hope everything's going well with you tonight, my guy. But yeah, man. We didn't really were able to dive into the Serie A talk too much because we went right into covering the debacle that is fucking Arsenal. So we'll cover it. We'll cover it now. I mean, just to go back on what everybody was talking about. I mean, or what I was talking about before we switched over to Arsenal. I mean, look, we all know it. Inter Milan won the game. Napoli was booed off the field by the tifosi, by the fans, because of the situation with big up Darren. Look at the legends all coming by. They were all booed off the field, the Napoli players, because of the horrible situation that we put ourselves into, falling 12 points behind Inter and everything with what's going on. Inter, I mean, there's no if they were to bottle this and lose the last 5 games and Milan or Napoli were able to win 5 straight in order to jump them, would be absolutely insanity. But I just don't see it happening. I think Inter, once they win their next game, the title's over. Once Inter wins their next game, barring whatever the situation is for Napoli or Milan, the title's over. Inter is hitting number 21. It's just an absolute shit show with what ended up happening. But there's a lot of questions to be asked. There's a lot of situations that need to be addressed when you look at it from the Napoli perspective. Who is going to replace Antonio Conte? Because Conte has to go, regardless of the situation that he won a league 2 years ago. The reason that we are in the situation that we're in is because of Antonio Conte's decisions. Let's just be honest about it. Big up to the legend Kyle Walsh. Oh, calling me his favorite YouTuber. Kyle, you're my boy, man. You're my boy. I get you're still devastated, bro. I have not seen the video yet that you put up, my brother, but I will be checking it out once I'm done with this one. This isn't going to be a 6-hour long one like it was yesterday. And when I put the link out in the chat, if you're available, brother, you know you're more than welcome to hop on my channel. Oi, tutto calcio, come stai? Ciao, Gianni. Do you think Napoli are risking top 4 after the loss to Lazio at the Maradona? Listen, possibly. It's not like this 3-4-3 bullshit that Conte has played has worked much. Conte has tried playing this stupid fucking formation since he got to Napoli. It didn't work last year. He went to the 4-4-2, which helped us win the Scudetto, and magically he wanted to not play it again. He tried coming up with this crazy thought that Scott McTominay could be a left winger. I mean, for me, listen, if Napoli fall out of the Champions League, it's icing on the cake even more to get rid of Conte, because Conte's time at Napoli is over with. It's done, and he needs to go. I'm sorry. Like, Conte realistically needs to go to Saudi Arabia, because I know people are talking about, Conte to the national team. For what? Two out of the three World Cups Italy has not qualified for. It's because we've played that dumb fuck 3-5-2 position, trying to do it the Italian way and be defensive. Brother, we can't play that brand of football no more. Sorry. We can't play that brand of football no more. You're not even picking the right players to go on the fucking national team. Besides that, let alone the fact that the 3-5-2 has cost us 2 out of the last 3 World Cups that we haven't made it. I don't see why Conte should go to the national team, in my personal opinion. If Napoli fall out of the Europa League, listen, then it's a reset. If Napoli fall out of the Champions League positions, the amount of money that's going to damage the club with that, then you have to push the restart button and get rid of a lot of players. The Champions League is the difference of getting a top manager back in, i.e. for me, Roberto Mancini should deserve the call for Napoli. if you get Champions League and if you stay in the Champions League and you get a top quality manager, you have the opportunity to go back one more year and try to make a run at the Scudetto again. Milan doesn't look like they're going to spend big money to fix that club unless Rafael Leao is sold for crazy money, which I don't think is going to happen. He's exposed himself again this year that he's not as good as a player as people try to hype him up to be. And I just think that if Napoli fall out and don't have the Champions League money, then you have to push the reset. Lobotka has to go, and Gisa has to go. Kevin De Bruyne, Politano, and Lukaku, no debate, have to go. And Juan Jesus. Them 4 bums need to get the fuck off my team. I'm sorry. Kevin De Bruyne, you were great at Manchester City. You're past your prime. You're over the hill. The leg injuries have taken it out of you. You're not good enough to be at Napoli. I know everybody told you that the Serie A is an old man's league and that, you'll be able to make it and blah, 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 and all this other bullshit. No. De Bruyne, you got to go. You're not good enough. You can't run. You're injured for over half a season again. I don't need you at my fucking club. I don't need Lukaku. Lukaku gets a lot more leeway for me because of the situation with his father. As I've said many times, people grieve differently. I don't know how close he was to his father, and I'm not going to blame him for the situation. It is what it is. He could be having some mental situations as far as the fact that his father passed away. So I wouldn't go too crazy at Lukaku. He won a Scudetto. It is what it is. Find a situation to where we're not losing money on him like that, and just figure it out. And just figure it out and let him walk away. Politano, dump him wherever the fuck you can. He's just a piece of shit and should not be at this club anymore. He should be sacked. He should be gone. Juan Jesus sucks. Get rid of Juan Jesus. Get rid of him. Just get rid of them 4 guys. If you bring in a top quality manager, if you bring in a Roberto Mancini, if you bring in if you walked away from Aston Villa, I would throw my hat in for Unai Emery. If you get 2 guys like that, top quality managers, if you fall out of the Europa League to build a new team, then we're talking about Vincenzo Italiano. We're talking about different managers. I don't want that. I would rather us take a pivot move for the year, run it back, go and win the Scudetto. And if you win the Scudetto, then with the extra money in the bank account, then you hit the reset button on the squad. Other than that, no, I want Champions League. But do I think they took a dive on it? A little bit. But I mean, let's be honest, man. Como's not really pulling up what they were doing. Como's not staying consistent and kind of fell out. We have an 8-point lead on Como. Juve's got a 5-point lead on Como. I don't really see us bottling 8 points in the last 5 games to allow Rome or Como to jump over us. I think that would be more Juventus to pull off that miraculous stupidity with the way their team has been. So for me, I just don't see it. But I think Inter's going to be a very interesting situation coming into next year because of the youth. There's already talk that Dejan Stankovic's kid, who is at Club Brugge having a very good season there, that they're going to activate his buyback clause. It sounds like Inter's trying to go young with the team and going to pivot. So if Inter's going to push the reset button, AC Milan has so much work to do to that team. They need competent strikers, not Rafael Leao hoping for a counterattack in other situations to that. But I just think that when you look at the situation at hand, Napoli have a golden opportunity to run it back and win a Scudetto again if you get a competent manager. If you get a competent manager in to pivot with this team, make a couple signings, let go of a few people, and I think you could run the Scudetto right back and win it and get 3 Scudettos in 5 years, which would be absolutely phenomenal, especially because the only 2 that have won in that 5 years that's not us is Inter. So as long as it's not AC Milan or Juve, I could care less as far as who won the other Scudettos. But listen, at the end of the day, Inter was the best team by far. The injuries destroyed Napoli, but it was also the lack of consistent play. And that's why we're here. As far as it's great to get 20 wins. We have the second most victories out of any of the other teams. You could say maybe 2 of the losses should have been wins, but even if that's the case, it doesn't make that much of a difference. The manager is the problem at the end of the day with these stupid decisions, trying to play defensive brand of football with a bunch of players that are fit for offensive football. I mean, it doesn't take a genius that Matteo Politano shouldn't be playing right wing back. The guy shouldn't be playing for a top level team in the first place, let alone a right wing back for Napoli. He has to go. Big up Helsinki. Big up Helsinki. Appreciate you stopping by. But it's absolutely ridiculous. So I think Napoli at the end of the day, when you look at it, we're in a decent place as long as we stay within the top four. As I said, I don't see us dropping out of the top four because we have an 8-point lead over Como. However, it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, you were at the Napoli game, Dark Side. Good for you. I hope you had enjoyed the environment down up over there, man. It's awesome to go see. The shocking performance, brother. It is what it is with that, brother. It is what it is with that. That's Conte. That's why he's got to go. He has strip-mined our team, caused all these problems behind the scenes with players and everything else for no reason. Noah Long is balling out with Galatasaray because he's being played in his proper position and given an opportunity. Yet Conte won't do it because he thinks it's better to play a 3-4-3 with his two floating 10s is McTominay and De Bruyne. I mean, De Bruyne can't fucking run, and Scott McTominay out on the wing is as useful as asking my mother to do fucking plumbing work. So at the end of the day, it is what it is when it comes to all that shit. So like I said, as long as it fuels Conte to get out of the team, get out of the club, I'm fine with it. Just as long as he doesn't go to the Italian national team, because we don't need to waste our time with his ass again. And the same thing goes for Massimiliano Allegri. He don't deserve the national team job either. So for me, as long as Conte here, Conte, go to Milan if you want. If Allegri's going to leave, send him to Milan. Go to Milan. There's no reason for it. Big up Wahaha. Big up Wahaha. But there's no reason to keep him there. There's no reason. He's caused too many problems. Too many fucking problems have been caused because of this idiot of a manager who was able to go against, get a bunch of ragtags and random signings from the Premier League on loan for 6 months, made it work and won a Scudetto. But then when Napoli give you a big fuck ton of money, you just get drunk on power and buy dumb shit. It makes no fucking sense with Conte. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Simeone ain't coming to Napoli, brother. Simeone ain't coming to Napoli, brother. If Simeone goes to any team in Italy, he's going to Inter. He's not going to come to Napoli. I would love for him to come to Napoli, but he ain't coming there. He's going to Inter. His love and connection with Inter is why he'll end up over there. Big up, Omar. Big up, Omar. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. But yeah, RSV, I saw that stat. I saw that. It's absolutely insanity. We will get to the yes, I am a fan of the NFL, Quasha. Napoli can't afford Simeone if he's asking for 20 million for a fucking for a contract. That ain't gonna happen. That wouldn't happen if as far as that. This Conte, he can't handle 4 competitions, and you guys got his play. Exactly. Reno, Paisan. You know this. The guy stood on the sideline and waited to see if Napoli was going to spend money because he said in the offseason, you guys need to prove that this project is worth my time. We bought all the fucking players that this hand job wanted, and now all of a sudden he doesn't know how to put shit together. That's why I'm saying ain't no fucking reason for him. Ain't no fucking reason for him to be staying. You got everything you wanted, and his fucking Jagoff still can't make it work, and then plays players out of positions when you ask for him? No, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know, Conte, this is the thing that I always say about Conte. When it comes to strictly the league, if you don't give a fuck about Europe, if you don't give a fuck about a domestic trophy, if you don't want anything to do in Europe, go get Conte. If you're happy with potentially getting knocked out in the first round of the knockout stages of the Champions League, or if you're potentially hopeful, or if you just don't give a shit, you just want the money. If you just want the money, then if you just want the money for being there and you don't care to get out of the group stages, go hire Conte. You know, Conte's mythical powers that people try to talk about is a myth. It's a myth. The 3 Scudettes that he won with Juve was when Serie A was bankrupt and Juve had all the money and was buying the other teams. It was buying all the other teams' best player. They were doing the same thing that Bayern Munich does, where Bayern Munich waits to see who their biggest competitor is and then go and buys the best player that team had so they could take it away from the competition. That's what Juve was doing at those 3 years. That's why they won. Now, were they solid in defense? 100%. 100%. And you could argue offensively, their team was so dynamic with the different players that they had. When you got Vucinic, Quagliarella, and then eventually, it developed into everybody else that they got. But he was good to build. He was good to build it. Yeah, he will end up being the Azzurri coach when he doesn't deserve to be there either. Again, I don't want to see this defensive shit no more. I want to see 4-3-3 attacking football. When Roberto Mancini told everybody to go fuck themselves, I'm playing it my way, not the defensive Italian way. We won the fucking Euros magically. And then what? And then the World Cup qualification, when all the bullshit came back around and they started saying, oh no, you need to hire, you need to bring these certain guys so we can get payoffs from this other team over the other players that are better. We don't make it to the World Cup. Go figure. It is what it is. Yeah, Simeone did play for Inter. Kyle, he wouldn't survive at Napoli. Arteta would be robbed. They'd blow his car up. They'd steal his car. Ain't happening, bro. Arteta ain't got the balls to come to Napoli, especially because we don't have the money to go and spend $1 billion for 6 years and not win shit. That wouldn't happen. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, RSV. Exactly. That's exact. This is what you guys see on the screen here with what RSV put in is 100% correct. He had a stacked team at the time when the league was not competitive, and the money difference was a landslide difference than what it is now. Landslide difference. That's the whole reason why they went on that dominating run. Now, me personally, I think Conte's, 2011, 2012, or 2012, 2013 is his invincible year. Conte in the league was better than Allegri because Allegri had a lot of close calls when he was the manager at Juventus. You had the back-to-back seasons that Napoli finished second place, 4 points behind them. You had Rome. I want to say Rome 1 year was only 3 points and another year was 5 points behind. So it wasn't as close. The Juve with Conte, they were fucking machines. They probably won the Scudetto with more points. No, I wouldn't take Mourinho because it's same thing, Omar. Mourinho's going to want to play a defensive brand of football, and the majority of our players don't fit that. Majority of our players need to play open attacking football when you look at it. Yeah, okay. It was the one game a week in 2011, 2012. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait, how's it one game a week, 2011, 2012? Juve, I thought, finished third place. They would have played in Europe and got knocked out, RSV. I thought they were in oh no, you're right. No. Because it was who was that fucking bum? There was the manager before then, because it was you're right. Del Neri was that fucking part-time manager that they had over there. That was a fucking idiot. Yeah, you're right. They weren't in Europe that year. It was once a week. Yeah. Helsinki, begrudgingly, I'm a Bulls fan. I'm only a Bulls fan because I'm from Chicago, but I don't go to Bulls games. I don't give them any money because like majority of all the other Chicago teams, their owners don't give a fuck about the fans. They will not invest in the team to make it a good team. They only care about their money. So don't really give a fuck about the Bulls. Michael Jordan era was awesome, but they're not worth my fucking time. Big up Dabo, my guy every single time. But yeah, that for me, that's the situation in Napoli. Pretty simple with Napoli. It's gonna come down to who we hire. Our who we look at for the managers is going to be. You're hilarious, Wahaha. No, the Chicago Black. No, 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 no. Hold on a sec before we get into this. The Chicago Blackhawks won 3-5. I got to see 3 Stanley Cups in 5 years. Should have been 4 and 5, but that's a different conversation. At the end of the day, the Blackhawks put together a good team. The problem was that little Bowman got drunk on the power and kept trying to chase that 4th title and fucked up a lot of our draft picks and everything else, which is why we're at. But you know what? Again, I saw 3 championships in 5 years, so I don't really care. The Blackhawks my whole life up until that point, you know, outside of when I was a kid in the early 90s, they had a great team, but it is what it is. Brother, I don't care. I saw 3 trophies. Reno. I know the fucking Canucks ain't win shit. I don't know if I rate Allegri higher than Conte, if I'm being quite honest with you. That's an interesting point that you're putting, RSV. I don't know if I do that as far as that. Yeah, Ten Hag. No, I don't want Ten Hag. He's a fucking bum too. Big up PFC TV. Wow, you're classic. You're classic. Big up, Gavin. Big up, Gavin. I am going to drop the link in the chat here in 1 second. Just got to take a look at one thing. Work has been unfreaking believable. I'll tell you that much. It's been unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, just at the end of the day, Napoli, it's gonna depend on who we end up going to get, man. I just hope we don't try anything stupid. I really hope we don't try anything fucking stupid for the managers that we're looking at. I don't know how serious they're going to be looking at this manager situation. And yeah, if Gattuso was at Arsenal, we'd be even worse. Even fucking worse. Conte got grouped. Yeah. At least we're better than the Maple Leafs. Listen, fuck the Leafs. Fuck the Maple Leafs, Reno. They had to fuck that team. Fuck the Maple Leafs. I don't support college teams. Helsinki. I just watch no, I take that back. My little cousin went to Alabama, so I'll support Alabama in like college football. College basketball, I don't really care. I just hope to watch a good tournament every March. Besides that, I don't really care as far as all that. Yeah, he makes Arteta look like I guess, but Arteta doesn't have any silverware, brother. So that's all it is. Maple Leafs, yeah, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. We need Gianni to Viking. Never happen. Never happen. Never happen. I'll never wear a Vikings jersey. That'll never happen, my friend. Never fucking happening. Fuck the Vikings. The Vikings and the Packers, I cannot stand. Toronto cooler. Leave my Leafs alone, brother. Until you guys win a freaking championship, what has it been? 60 fucking years since you guys won a title? You guys need to straighten that out, bro. You guys need to straighten that out when it comes to that. So I don't know what the scenario is with all that, but yeah, man. The Maple Leafs, ooh, they've had some bad years when it comes to that. They've had some bad years when it comes to that. So I don't really but let's get yeah, Montreal City's awesome. Montreal, the city's dope. Toronto as a city is dope. But I don't Toronto and Montreal, Vancouver's the only big city I haven't been to in Canada. I haven't been to Calgary. Nope. Don't like the Blue Jays. I'm a Yankees fan. They're in my division. I won't root for them. Nope. But let's get into this Arsenal talk, man, because as bad as it's going on with Napoli, and we were booed off the park, which we 100% deserved. The problem is, at the end of the day, is that Arsenal is potentially walking into a very bad situation. At the end of the day, you should come to Vancouver, brother. I'm not allowed in Canada. I can't come to Canada, so that'll never happen. But the situation at the end of the day is that Arsenal are in such a bad situation right now that we are once we lose to Atletico Madrid, we're going right back to where we were when Arteta walked in. That's the scary situation of what's going on, and it's not being talked enough about. You got all these fucking dickheads. Are you on the Canadian visa blacklist? No, I've been arrested too many fucking times. Been arrested too many times. That's why I can't go to Canada. So it is what it is. Big up, Chike.
Big up, my guy. Thank you for having me.
But, no, I mean, it's Chike, we'll go from a different perspective here first. What's been the fallout? Obviously, City fans have been going nuts and everything else. Is it pretty much the entire City fan base knows they're going to win the league?
100%. I mean, I don't talk to a lot of City fans. I keep in touch with, my guys from high school and college, and sometimes I'll talk to LB. But the consensus is the league is just about left up. Big up Benji. Yeah, just the way we're playing, and this is the fact that this is our worst defense in 15, 20 years, and we still might do a domestic treble is wild to me. I wouldn't have imagined this in my wildest dreams. So I'm telling you now, we're gonna do a domestic treble, and I'm still stunned about it.
I'm pissed because once you guys win the treble, we're the fourth biggest team now. You guys have passed us on trophies, and it's not being talked enough about.
It isn't.
It's not being talked enough about the fact that one of the biggest thing. Oh, we're the third biggest team in England, and then they immediately say we're the biggest team in London. Well, guess what? If you don't win this year, the debate's up for both of them, because Chelsea, Chelsea's in the position that they're in, but they've won the European titles,
and they've won all the European titles,
and they're not
the only team to compete. No, they're the only team to win all the European titles: Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, and what's the other one?
Well, that's not Europe. That's that bullshit summer trophy.
Yeah, no, but they've won every trophy at club level. So if anything, they're the biggest team. They're the biggest club in London. Not even close. Not Arsenal. Not Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham was going to get relegated, even though West Ham didn't do them any favors.
For them, that's going to be the only saving grace of the season is that Tottenham's going to get relegated. That's the only saving grace of the season is that Tottenham's going to get relegated because
it's the big hands as well.
Huh?
Just this big hands because he won them the.
Ain't no justice. Big Ant sucks as a fucking manager too. He's overrated.
I like Big Hands.
I like Big Hands.
Nah. Fuck
what?
Him. He's
I'll take him back at Celtic.
I'll take him at City.
No, he'd run you guys into the fucking ground.
I will take him. I will take him at Napoli.
You crazy as hell. I wouldn't take him at Napoli. I'd be the first one there at the airport to tell his fat ass get back on the flight and go back to the out of Napoli. Hell no, I don't want him in Napoli, dude. Fuck him.
Only joking.
He's a fucking scrub. I don't think I honestly don't think he's that good of a manager. I didn't see what all the hype was with him. He's not that good of a manager. Yes, okay, he plays further up the pitch and he plays a high line and all this shit. Cool. What has it done for him?
But then
Celtic has been one of the two winners in Scotland for the last 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
Big deal. Okay. Big deal. You won in Australia. Big fucking deal. He won a Europa League. See, here's the thing that people need to realize. These Europa League titles are getting worse as the years go on, as long as they don't have the Champions League teams drop it.
You're right. No, you're right.
You have to see. I still think what they should do is, even with the added amount of teams, the top 4 teams of each one that don't make it should drop into the next competition. If you're the bottom 4 of the teams that don't make it out of the Champions League, if you're the bottom 4 that doesn't make it out of the Champions League, you should go out because there's 8 teams that immediately get eliminated. So get rid of the bottom 4. The next 4 fall into the Europa League. And then same thing, bottom 4 for Europa League, out of competition. Top 4 that were left that missed out go into the Conference League. And then you do the same thing and have the playoff situation like that. I don't think, because the only reason why Tottenham or United made it to the final was because none of the Champions League teams got into the Europa League. Because they'd have beat the fuck out of them. But they'd have beat the fuck out of either one of them. They weren't that good. So that Europa League, people could say, oh, Ange won this. Bro, I don't give a fuck about it. Yes, he won a trophy. Congratulations. You won the shittiest Europa League title there's been.
It's true.
You know,
I can't remember who either team
how many
played.
of the Europa League titles did Sevilla win where they were in the Champions League, fucked up, and dropped into the Europa League? Like 3 of them? They've won 7 Europa League titles. A lot of those Europa League titles came from the fact that they were in the Champions League and dropped down. That's why I think that whole method is stupid.
Yeah.
That whole situation is stupid when it comes to the Europa League. Let the teams drop down and continue the competition as far as that. Again, RSV's got a point. Got a point with this as well. The only reason why Forest is this far is because the Champions League teams ain't dropping down. Forest would have been knocked out already if they'd have got one of the other teams. So that's my personal opinion when it comes to the Europa League and why I don't really buy the bullshit when it comes to Ange. I could care less about Ange Postecoglou, to be honest with you. You know, if there's a list of managers that's coming on to like look at that I would look at for the job for Arsenal, Ange wouldn't even be top 15. Maybe not even top 20. Fuck no. What have you done? Why would I even look at you?
So what he did at Spurs, not to cross, but managing Spurs or coaching Spurs is like coaching the New York Jets. What are you supposed to do there? Supposed to fit? Yeah. Come on, Gianni, you know this better. You know this better than anybody.
Bro, he got Spurs. He got Spurs to 5th place because of fucking them only getting 1 game a week.
That fucks.
You're not that good of a manager.
Nope.
You're not that good of a manager. I'm sorry. When you got 2 games a week, you were 16th. No. I'm sorry, brother. I could get Conte and deal with that more if I was going to look at a coach for Arsenal.
You really want Antonio Conte at Arsenal?
Yeah, because he'd win something.
We'll take Ancelotti at Arsenal.
He'd win a trophy.
Okay, Ancelotti I wouldn't mind, but Conte
would win it. Brother.
What's
the difference?
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
If he does the same shit that he does at Napoli, he switches to a 3-4-3 or his 3-5-2. How you scoring on Arsenal?
It's true.
The team that we have right now, if everybody's not banged up and injured, if we put the reset button coming into this year, let's say coming into next season, every single player's health is at maximum. They don't have nagging injuries or everything else. You put Conte at the helm of Arsenal and give him 150 to go spend to get 3 players to make the team better, to fit his mold. How you scoring on us?
Yeah, because they have the back 3 of Gabriel Saliba and the 3rd center back.
Timber would get put there. Timber would get put there. So then you have a midfield of Rice.
Declan Rice, yep.
Zubimendi probably wouldn't be there. He'd probably get rid of Zubimendi because he couldn't play Conte's style of ball. He'd get rid of Zubimendi. So you got 2 new midfielders. Or here, you go 3-4-3 with the second of the 3 up top as a number 10. So you get Rice, 1 other guy to sit next to him. You get 2 wingers. You get 2 wingers/fullbacks. And then you put Eze and 2 strike with Gyökeres as one of the striker and go get another striker. We could win the league with that.
I agree with that.
So that's why I'm saying I'd rather take Conte, because Conte, he may not win the fucking Champions League. He may even, our team will be good enough to get out of the group stages. But like I said, Arsenal hasn't built up enough of a winning foundation for them to go on and win the Champions League. So that's why I don't give a fuck if it's Conte. I'd rather Conte come in and win back-to-back doubles of domestic trophies. If he walked in and he won the League Cup and the title the first year and then comes back the following year, he doesn't repeat, but he finishes 3rd and wins the FA Cup and the League Cup, I'm fine with that. I don't give a fuck about that because Arsenal ain't winning no Champions League.
So what you're saying is you'd rather bring in Conte to get you over the mental hurdle, and then by doing that will
at least
prolong you
start
for
it.
winning the league. Yeah.
Yeah, at least start a year. Ange got backed with over 400 million, and that's what happened to Tottenham. No,
What?
sorry,
400 million.
Yeah. Tottenham's one of the top. Tottenham is one. Tottenham spent crazy money on Ange. That's why I don't want him. Conte is just a 2-season wonder. Exactly. That's all I would want him for. That's all I would want him for.
You're right.
All I would take him at Arsenal for is 2 seasons. 2 seasons. That's it. As soon as the second season's done, go. The only way Conte stays is if it was back-to-back titles, as far as Premier League titles. That's the only way he stays. The only way Conte would stay is because he's earned it. Outside of that, no, fuck off. Fuck off. Big up Dabo. But
big up Dabo.
I'm telling you, no, it's this whole situation when it comes to Dabo. I think you got something going on in the back that I'm hearing. But no, brother, it doesn't matter if he would embarrass Arsenal in the UCL. We got to win trophies at this point. That's more important. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Brother, if Arsenal didn't make it in the top 8 and we get in and we get knocked out in the early enough, the guy, if he got in and he got us knocked out in the first round of the knockouts, I could care less as long as he's winning a trophy. If he gets us knocked out in the early rounds and we don't win a trophy, sack his ass after 1 year.
Yeah, that's what big teams do.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea.
This manager should be sacked and so on. Brother, whether you like it or not, it is what it is. Sorry.
And to be honest, I don't see him getting sacked because
Nick, if I devote my time to a team, I have a right to say something about it because time is the most precious thing that everybody has, and it's more valuable for money.
Yes.
Sorry. Arsenal ain't been fucking embarrassing in the Champions League. Exactly, Jason. Exactly. And Jason, you're an Inter fan. You know this when it comes to Conte. You get him in for 2 years to win some fucking trophies and bounce his ass once he's coming and set the tone and giving everybody the mentality of what it takes to go out and win. You 100% know this being an Inter fan. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather Conte do what he did at Chelsea with Arsenal for the 2 seasons and bounce him. At least he won the fucking league and he won the FA Cup afterwards. And yes, right after, and yes, he only had the regular season because Chelsea were god-awful the year before and he had 1 game a week. Big whoop-de-doo. If the same thing happened to Arsenal, I would not care. Get him in, get him us to win the fucking title, set the foundation for the winning mentality going forward and move on and get rid of his ass. That's what you're supposed to do as a big club. Sorry. If you don't like it, move the fuck on. He left us off the back. Yeah, he left you guys at the back of winning the Scudetto because you guys were going to sell players and he didn't want Inter to sell players. That's why he left. Because his big conglomerate of a team that he had was getting busted up. I think, what was it? Because Hakimi was...
And the team was old, too.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
Bro, that whole team was young. They sold it for big money. Hakimi was on that team. Hakimi was on Inter before he went to PSG. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. He sold Lukaku back to Chelsea. He sold Hakimi to PSG for crazy money. They still had they didn't even have what's his name yet. They didn't even have Çalhanoğlu yet on that team. Barella was damn near a youngster from Cagliari. So it is what it is. That's why I'm saying I really wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care that if he came into Arsenal, as long as he gets us over the line and wins some trophies, I don't give a shit. Because no, what were you gonna say?
The one thing with the thing with Arsenal that really the thing with Arsenal that pisses me off more than anything is that I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta signed his contract already, because the only reason why he hasn't been sacked is because he's gotten them back up to challenging for the league and getting Champions League. So as long as he's in that target, he's not going anywhere. That's just the way I see it.
This summer, makes you say that? This summer's going to tell us everything about the club. It's either this club is a cash cow or the club is going to get serious and start winning. If we walk away and we don't win the trophy, which I don't think is happening, I think City's going to smoke Burnley like 4-0.
Yeah.
We go top of the league, and you're not getting it back.
Exactly. Once you guys go top of the league, Arsenal's not going to get it back. Once you guys get in front, you're not going to give the lead back up, and it's over with from there. The guy's got to go. If they don't get rid of him, then we know Arsenal is just going to be a cash cow, and then why am I going to get stressed over Arsenal anymore? I'll still be an Arsenal fan, but I'm not going to be back in the bullshit. It is what it is when it comes to that. That's just how. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say a couple of things. It's really, I really think something really tells me, Gianni, that he signed that contract. Something really tells me that he signed that, because if Arsenal were serious, first of all, they wouldn't have hired his ass in the first place. So Arsenal are already a cash cow.
I disagree.
What?
I disagree.
Tell me why, or tell us why.
I've told you why a million times. Business is why Arteta got hired.
Yeah.
Business is why Arteta got hired. That's why. Again, if you were a billionaire, you would hire somebody. You would hire somebody to come in and look over your affairs, over your smaller asset. Arsenal is a smaller, whether Arsenal fans want to hear it or not, Arsenal is a smaller asset to the Cronkies than the Denver Nuggets or the
LA Rams.
So, and
or
again,
the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, no. The Avalanche don't bring in anywhere near the amount of money Arsenal. Hockey does not make anywhere near the amount of money.
No, you're right.
It's just the whole reason why they owned the Avalanche is because that was their first chip for their portfolio to own a sports team. That's it.
Understood.
That's it. They don't get the Avalanche. They were shit for years when the Cronkies owned them. The Cronkies drafted really well with this team that they have now. So, but no, the problem is, whether Arsenal fans like it or not, is Arsenal is a smaller end of their sports teams. They're not as valuable as the LA Rams. Anybody who looks at it from both sides, not just a fan side, you look at it from both sides of the coin. You are going to look. The LA Rams, just the stadium, cost you $5 billion.
Jesus Christ!
The stadium is worth more money than Arsenal.
What?
Brother, Arsenal's worth $3.5 billion, $4.5 billion. The stadium's $5 billion. Here.
Wow. That is mental. The whole LA stadium is, wow. That is mental. I didn't even think of that. That is mental.
Arsenal FC is approximately valued at 3.4 billion American dollars. Bro, the club ain't even worth the fucking stadium. It's not even worth SoFi Stadium. So it's like, this is where I get a little weird looking with the this is where I get a little weird with some of the Arsenal fans, because I'm like, listen, it's a two-way street. The fans have become complacent in allowing mediocrity. And if you do that, why should you expect the billionaire to come in and actually indulge himself in the mediocrity when you guys are allowing it to fester? He gave $1 billion to spend to keep everybody quiet.
Talk about it.
So, and they lapped it up. Again, look at what's going on right now. Martin Keown must have been taking it in the ass from Arteta last night, because this stupid motherfucker came out and tried saying that it's the injuries is the reason why we're in the situation that we're in. He didn't want to talk about the 4 straight games that we fucked up with Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, and Brentford. He didn't want to talk about none of that. He kept trying to push that to the side. He says, we'll talk about that at the end of the season. The only thing he wants to talk about is the injuries. He tried saying, oh, look, Arsenal's missing their whole right-hand side. Brother, that's the manager's fault. And as soon as you tried saying, oh, what about the rotations? Oh, we need to talk about something else. Bro, all these positive Arsenal fans is the reason why this club is in the state that it's in. That's the reason why. End of the day. Whether any of them want to admit it or not, whether any of the other side, whether any of our side of the Arsenal fans that are the realists that actually see for what shit is and call it out, that's the problem at the end of the day. The vast majority of the fucking Arsenal fan base is okay with this shit. I mean, you got guys already talking about wanting Iriola to be the replacement manager. For what? 6 more years of the same shit? Because that's what's going to happen. You could see it coming from a mile away. Exactly. Big up to Eros. Exactly what I said.
Yeah,
Arsenal should inherit once this season is over. Once this season is fucking over and the dust settles and City's won again, that's what Arsenal should start being called from now on. The lovable losers. They got the biggest fan base, the biggest fan base, and they're okay with losing. They're okay. We're going to the game. We're going to go take selfies. We're going to go get a booze and food at the stadium. Okay. Again, if that's what the majority of the fan base is, why is I, as a billionaire, if they're happy with it, why should I spend more money?
Well, no, I mean,
again, why should I spend more money? There's two types of owners. There's
Yep.
business and then the guys who want to win.
Yep. The problem is Arsenal don't have any. Arsenal don't have either.
Roman Abramovich at Chelsea wanted to win.
Yep.
You guys at City, they want to win.
Yep.
Arsenal, we're waiting to see what it's going to be this summer to tell us. But right now, it's business.
Yep. Well, it's been business, but
that's what it is. So
it's been business to be fair,
that's why it's not. That's why it's not that big of a situation for me the way I'm looking at it. Because with Arsenal, the situation at the end of the day is that the Cronkies don't give a fuck.
Nope.
That's either going to be shown that they don't give a fuck, or they do, and they're going to get rid of him and let Berta do his job. Yeah,
they are laughing.
They are laughing.
They took a COVID loan? Are you what?
Yep. Bro, they had to take a COVID loan because of the $5 billion that they had to put down for SoFi.
Jesus Christ.
They used Arsenal as leverage. They used Arsenal as partial leverage for the debt. That's why they pumped $1 billion back into the team, because they were able to finesse the $1 billion back.
Jesus.
But again, at the end of the day, whether they took the loan or not, the problem is that they're smart business people, and the fan base hasn't clocked in here yet.
I mean,
that's why I'm saying the Cronkies at the end of the day are going to show us who they are for this team come the summer. If we don't win, it's going to come out to what they are. That's it.
Also, and in the way, and in my personal opinion, the way I'm looking at it, if they somehow beat Atletico Madrid and make it to the Champions League final, I can see them keeping him. I really could.
Oh, I do too.
And that will tell you everything you need to know. So in a way, you're kind of praying. See, this is why for me, and I don't know if you do this, Gianni, whenever my team, whether it's Manchester City, any of my American teams or whatever, when I know my team's bad, I root against them because I'm tired of the bullshit. Like, I don't root for the minute I see mediocrity, F it. Just I root for them to lose because I'm tired of mediocrity. I don't expect mediocrity. I expect the best of the best. So I don't know. Are all of you like that, or is it just me? Because I'm personally like that.
The problem is, I mean,
what's the problem with that?
I don't know if it's rooting against them. It's more of like, the season's over. It is what it is. I'll never root against my team, but if I know they're not going anywhere, then I'm just, it is what it is, and let the season take its course and see where it goes. They keep it, Jason's glad.
I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. And if it happens, I swear to God.
Jason, we'll see what ends up happening. You could be right about that.
Oh, my God.
I've been praying for Arteta to lose and get the sack.
See? I'm not the only one.
Yeah, is he a good yes man? 100%. And that's what's going to determine if the Cronkies are serious or not. Because again, Arsene Wenger was a yes man. But yeah, Benji, if he stays, fold the club. Big up Quaja.
Big up Quaja.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah.
It is what it is with that. That's why I'm saying for me, I'm not going to say that I root against the team, but it is what it is.
No, I completely understand. It's easy. Yes, they were fucked up.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. There's that stat that Arsenal have been top for 973 days in 22 years. And we've been top for what? Really almost 3 times that, and have won 8 league, and we're going to win 8 league titles.
Yep.
Wow.
I believe Simeone will give it all against Arsenal every single. Oh, 100% he is.
Yeah.
100% Simeone's going to give. 100% Simeone's going to give all he wants for that. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
The only way Arteta goes is if the fans protest.
That's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Don't happen now.
Not going to happen.
I can't support anyone but my team, no matter how shit we are. I don't support individuals, so they can get the facts, Suge.
Okay,
Facts.
so you are Suge, you are one of those fans that will support the team no matter what, even if the.
I do. I'm going to support the team no matter what, even if they're fucking up. But I'm going to call them out for it and say what needs to be fixed. I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to go against Arsenal and say I want Arsenal to lose. I'm never going to do that. But at the same time, I don't. Why do I want Arteta to stay here? Nothing's going to get better while he's here. Nothing about this team is going to get any better while he's here. Nothing.
So why not root against them?
Huh?
So why not root against them if you know that
I don't root against my own? Because I don't root against my own.
Wow. Good for you. I respect that. I really do.
Meaning I'd never protest. No, I would protest, but I'm not in the UK. And I'm protesting by speaking the truth all the time, whether it helps her out and all. It is what it is. Are there any players you actually like on the squad? Yeah. I would keep the 2 center backs. I'd keep Gabriel Saliba. I would permanently sign Hincapié. I would keep Timber. I would keep Rice.
Declan Rice.
Those 5. Gyökeres I'd keep. Lewis Skelly.
You keep Eze.
Eze.
That's 8
players.
Gyökeres.
Miles Lewis Skelly. You got to keep Miles Lewis Skelly. You got to keep Dalman.
That's 10. So that's that. Yeah, and we talked about this yesterday.
We did.
Maybe 10, 11, 12 at the most of the players as I would keep. But half of those guys could leave at the end of the season. That's the bigger thing that nobody is talking about. No, I would not keep Saka. I would get rid of his ass in a heartbeat.
Wow.
I'd get rid of Saka in a fucking heartbeat. 300,000 pounds. This guy potentially has a fucked up Achilles, which means he's gone for a year. No. 300,000 pounds for him to sit on the fucking
or longer
on the bench. Go somewhere else, brother. I'd rather pay you out and get rid of your dumb ass.
Or longer with the Achilles. Because an Achilles injury could easily takes a year, maybe even longer, depending on.
A winger with the way he plays, he's done. He's done. Saka would have to relearn how to be a number 10, a false 9, or a secondary striker. He can never be a winger again.
Jesus Christ.
Eric, Catholic said it right there. Yeah, everyone else does have to go. 100% correct.
100%
correct.
I will get rid of Odegaard.
Odegaard's got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't on this list.
You got to get rid of the German giraffe. You got to get rid of Martinelli. You got to get rid of Madueke, that bum that keeps running the ball out of play for a goal kick.
Jesus, this is a full rebuild. Whether anyone likes it or not,
it is a full rebuild. That's what, brother. Who was it that we were talking about yesterday? If it's Martinelli, Trossard, and Ben White, if they get everything, no, not Ben White, Madueke. If those 3 players were consistently getting their bonuses a week, we would have 10 players getting paid 200,000 pounds or more. And you still have to re-sign people. Jurrien Timber's only getting paid 90,000 pounds a week. He's one of our lowest paid players, and he's one of the best right backs in the world. When he resigns, then what happens?
Jesus. I don't even.
If the manager stays, they're talking about extending Kai Havertz's deal, and they're talking about extending Declan Rice. That means you'll have 3 people on 300,000 pounds a week, with the potential of having 3 guys on 300,000, and you'll have 7 guys on 200 plus. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And when you take into account that there's a possibility that they're going to extend the Emirates. They're going to try to put 10,000 to 15,000 more seats in the Emirates Stadium. That cost goes onto your books. That's why they're already talking about selling the youth academy kids, because the youth academy kids is maximum profit to go on the books. That's why I'm saying there's a financial problem behind the scenes that they haven't shown us yet that's going to fuck us. That's why I'm saying we don't win the league. Walking into next year, we're back to square one with this manager again. The same exact situation that we were in when he walked in. 6 years later and £1 billion later, he's fallen off a cliff and has gone right down there. Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you, you're 100% correct.
Come to City, mate.
100% correct. Max Dowman will get sold if the manager stayed. You're 100% correct. They would sell Max Dowman. Nelson, you can look at it two ways. He's getting you could look at it two ways. Are the Cronkies retarded or the Arsenal fan base retarded for getting finessed by the both of them?
It's actually a combination of both, in my opinion.
It is a combination of both. At the end of the day, the fans are paying for both of it.
Yeah, there lies the problem.
Exactly. It's that old saying, who's blind? The blind or the people that are following the blind? You know what I mean? There's nothing.
I understand.
So because look, we just said we'd maybe keep 11 players on this squad. That means probably about 13 to 14 players have to go.
And it's not, and I don't see
we're not going to pull a Chelsea. We're not going to pull a Chelsea under Blueco where they're going to get rid of 10 players and bring in 12. That ain't going to fucking happen. So you got to go piece by piece of getting rid of players. I would be shocked if 5 players left Arsenal this year. I would be shocked.
You're being generous. I'd be shocked if 1 player left.
No, I would say 3. But it depends on who. I think 3 of the main players who need to go leave at least.
And how would they leave? Would you have to rip up their contracts, or would you just have to take
Brother, we talked about this yesterday. When you look at the contracts with Odegaard, Havertz, and fucking Odegaard, Havertz, and Jesus, you're talking 45 million out the door just to buy them pussies off. 8 Franks hit the nail on the head.
Is absolutely right.
This is exactly what you have to worry about going forward if Berta's not going to be allowed to get serious and try to fucking run the team. That's what I'm saying. You're talking, Omar 45 here. For those who don't want to believe it. Gross base salary. Kai Havertz is 14.5 million.
Right.
Gabriel Jesus is 13.7. So you're at 28.2. Odegaard is 12.5.
So you're
already at 40 million right there. You're at 41 million right there with those guys to buy off on base. Now, if you have to buy them out and it's at the total gross with bonuses included, you're at 34 million just between Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus, and then you're at 50 million when you hit Martin Odegaard. So if you're able to rip their contracts up at total base without the bonuses, you're at 41.5 million. But if you have to go with the bonuses included, you're talking much more money. That's why that's just a start. Then you have to buy Hincapié. Hincapié's on loan. That's another 50 million that you got to spend on him. So between the contracts you got to rip up and keeping one of your players, that's 100 million out the door already.
Oh my God.
That already shows that that means already that you've lost the profit money for Champions League walking through the door. That's out the window. And majority of your second place finish prize money in the Premier League is already gone and out the window. So now you're taking nothing but a loss on going out to trying to buy players unless you sell the youth or you get lucky. Like here, Martinelli should be sold no matter what because somebody's got it on playback in the back. Okay, I don't hear it
anyway.
But
so Martinelli
was bought for 7 million. He's basically free money. He should be the first one sold in the summer. Get whatever you can for him and get rid of his bum ass. Get the money off the fucking books. Get rid of him because he's basically a total profit. So if you look at the situation, you get rid of Martinelli, you get rid of his contract. That's a $10 million a year contract off the books with Martinelli gone. So with Martinelli, not 10 million, but close enough, maybe like 9.5. But either way, 9.5 million's off the books with the salary. And let's say you get rid of him for 30 million pounds. You basically are on 40 million that you got back. The 40 million that you could potentially get for him, combined with getting the salary and everything off the books, you can then eat a little bit to be able to go out and get more players. But again, that's why I'm saying the youth has to stay in order to get proper minutes. If not, you're getting rid of them. And even if you get rid of them, you still only have 100 million left over. You need to buy players to straighten this fucking team out. Right. 2 good players, you're out 200 million. When you look at the buying out of contracts, buying Hincapié permanently, and then having to sell the youth and then bring more players in. This is why I said we are going down the same path that Juventus went down. And Juventus hasn't won a fucking trophy since 2020.
Jesus, his Ronaldo was there.
They haven't won the Scudetto since 2020. They've barely been involved in the Scudetto race since then. That's 6 years. That's the biggest team in Italy.
Wow.
Because of the financial problems. We're potentially running into the same situation. That's why we should, when you look at all the sales that we made, we sold Emil Smith Rowe for however much money. Cool. We sold Emil Smith Rowe for money that was pure profit. It hasn't helped because, again, we're talking about selling youth academies again. That's why I mean it doesn't make any fucking difference.
And with Juventus too, I think you might have alluded to this yesterday. A large reason why they're in the situation that they're in is because of CR7, whether anyone likes it or doesn't like it.
His contract was part of the problem, but they were if you look at the way Juventus was making moves, they were selling youth academy players for cheap amount of money, and then they were signing players for free. When you sign a player for free, that means their contract goes way up. They have to get paid a higher rate. Yes. If you sign a player for free, their contract normally is getting paid a lot more. Like Aaron Ramsey, I want to say, was making like $250,000 a week at Juventus. Something crazy like that. Ramsey deserve it, but he was a free signing.
What?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying it's not. Big up, Suj. I was gonna ask you what was your feelings on your guy Serge out for the season.
No, he's out for this. No,
he's out for the season. He fucked up. I think it's his abductor.
So,
is it one of his abductors? He fucked up. It is what it is. He's gone for the season. They don't know if he's going to make the World Cup for.
He ain't making the World Cup. That's in 50 days. Something like that. Jesus Christ. Well, it's not like Germany are going to win it anyway. Well, actually, I don't know, but
no, Germany ain't going to win it.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not like Germany are going to win
it. It's either going to be Spain or France. It's going to be Spain or France.
Yeah, I'm picking Spain.
I agree. I'm also picking Spain.
England not winning it.
But
who? Who'd you say?
England aren't winning it. England aren't going to win it.
No, England's going to get smoked.
England's
going to get fucking smoked.
Actually, I don't mean to go off topic, but how surprised would Quaja and anyone? How surprised would you be if England went out in the group stages of the World Cup?
That won't happen.
You don't think so?
Not in the group that they're in. The group
you
that
don't think
they're in.
Croatia.
They're with Croatia and Ghana.
Yeah,
Ghana's a good team. Don't underestimate my fellow African. Come on, Gianni. The Africans can ball, bro. What are you?
Bro, the Africans never show up at the World Cup. Listen. The problem is with this. Ghana's what was it? Morocco was the team that made it to the semifinals last one, right? They made it to the semifinals. It's the furthest an African team's ever gone. They just fired their manager. They got injuries galore to some of their team. I don't think Morocco's going to get back there. Them losing that manager was a bad situation. If any African team to me that's going to make a bigger dent is going to be Senegal. Because Senegal's got the same exact team. Nobody's injured that I know of on that team. Senegal's the only team to me that can make a fucking run. But bro, the African teams don't show up in the World Cup like that. They don't.
They beat England
Here,
in the final.
If Ghana was on real bullshit, Ghana should have done way better in the 2014 World Cup after the experience they got making that run when they ended up losing to Uruguay.
Sure.
So, and that team was pretty much together. Then you saw the corruption shit where Prince Boateng and Sully Muntari got kicked out of Ghana because of that nonsense. So at the end of the day, the problem is the African teams, Africa puts out ballers left, right, and center. Nobody's disagreeing with that. But the problem is that I wonder if it's similar to how it is with the French. Because the stereotype up until the recent era of the French always was they make superstars left, right, and center. Do they all get along with one another?
Right.
Because that's always been the problem with the French and the Dutch.
Yes.
It's always whoever's the bigger, what's his name? Klaas-Jan Huntelaar and Huntelaar and Van Persie could never be on the field at the same time because they hated one another.
Oh shit, no.
How the fuck you got two of the best strikers in the world, but you can't play with one another for your fucking national team? That's the bullshit that I'm talking about.
Same with Vinny with Brazil. He can't play with Brazil. He sucks on Brazil. The guy stinks on Brazil.
Vinicius Jr. is not that good of a player to begin with.
He stinks, bro. He absolutely stinks.
He always moans.
Yeah. Leave if he walks.
Yeah, he always moans.
So
he stinks, Jim. He absolutely stinks. And also, Gian, you mentioned this as well. Real Madrid need to get rid of Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. Those two are the biggest effing problems on that team. Whether anyone likes it or doesn't like it, those two got to go.
Real Madrid's got to get rid of a lot more players than just them two.
I understand that, but since we're in the business, Real Madrid are in the business of business, but if they want to improve their team, they have to start by getting rid of those two players. Those two players suck. I'm terribly sorry, but those two players absolutely stink.
I think Vinny should go, and this may be controversial. I think Mbappe should go right with them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, Mbappe, I agree.
And Jude Bellingham. I think the three of them should go.
Yeah. Damn. Why Mbappe? I'm curious.
What the fuck does he do?
They not won Champions League with Mbappe.
Bro, it doesn't matter if it's.
He was PSG's problem. He was one of the problems at PSG. Him and Neymar. He was one of the problems at PSG.
Right. He's a fucking drama queen. He's another fucking drama. Listen, if Vinicius Jr. didn't start all this flop bullshit over the last 2 years, I would say Vinny gets to stay. Get rid of Mbappe and Bellingham. So that the problem is that ever since Mbappe showed up, the problem of who the quote unquote, they always say, whose team is it? That quote unquote type of question is the biggest problem with Real Madrid right now with Vinny and Mbappe. They don't work together as a two up front with them trying to play a 4-4-2. Nope. They both don't track back. Nope. So you got no press from the striker with Mbappe because again, the simplest thing you can do as a striker is defend from the front when you don't have the ball.
Right.
Mbappe don't do that.
And neither does Vinny.
Exactly. Neither does Vinny. So you already got two players that ain't doing it. I'd get rid of the both of them motherfuckers.
Damn.
Bro, you're telling me with the talent that they have, you are going to limit Real Madrid because of two fucking nutcases. I would send Mbappe's ass back to PSG.
No.
Send his ass back to PSG or send him to the fucking Premier League. Send him to the fucking Premier League and Vinicius Jr. send him to Saudi or whoever wants to come take him. I get rid of the both of them.
Well,
I get rid of both of them. You got Nico.
I completely understand that.
You got Nico Paz coming back this year. Nico Paz is back. That fucking Gooler. Is a fucking baller.
He's disgusting. Oh hell no, you're right. You don't.
I get rid of the junk at the back line. I get rid of who's the fucking Austrian guy that they got? Alaba.
I love that. Oh,
That motherfucker's been injured for 3 straight years. Get rid of his ass. He's a fucking bum.
Another player they bought from Bournemouth.
He's a bum. Get rid of him. I personally would keep Rudiger, but I know, shout out to Madrista Sam. He don't fuck with
Madrista Sam.
Yeah. Would you get rid of Brahim Diaz as well? He ain't that good. Would you?
No,
sell
I
him?
keep Brahim.
I
like
keep Brahim Diaz. He's a good player. I
Who's
remember
that
him at City. He's a good player.
they got from Bournemouth?
Damn.
I keep Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz has proven himself. If it wasn't for Brahim Diaz, Milan doesn't win the Scudetto.
Wow.
Brahim Diaz was a baller at AC Milan. He was a baller at AC Milan. The kid's been able to play well. I'd keep him for rotation. He may not break into your team for starters, but I'd keep him. You know, if you got him and that other kid, I like that Mastuando, the left-footed right winger that they got, the young Argentinian kid. I like that kid. I think he's decent. But again, he was put in a fucked up position by Xabi Alonso because Xabi Alonso wanted to play that 3-4-3 nonsense again. So you're a charlatan. You can't bin Mbappe and keep Diaz. Why?
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
You can bin both of them.
Bin all of them.
Bin all of them.
You're Dean Hoyson, another bum I'd get rid of.
Oh yeah, Dean Hoyson's a
also
rubbish
another
guy.
one
The
is
guy
Dean
was
Hoyson.
getting
No,
mad
no,
over
no.
hype.
I love him, but Carvajal's got to go as well.
Bournemouth.
Who?
Carvajal.
Dean Hoyson
He's
from
up-
No, I
Bournemouth.
keep Carvajal. I keep Carvajal.
I agree, but he's old, mate. The guy's what is he? 35?
Brother, it doesn't matter. The guy can still play.
Fair.
And
Yeah,
you need the thing
Would
is
you keep Trent? Should Real Madrid keep or sell Trent?
no, I'd get rid of Trent.
No, that's another
No
player
way.
that's got to get. Jesus.
He done awful.
50 goals a season. Okay, are you a Real Madrid fan? Because if you are and you're talking about 50 goals a season, I got plenty of Real Madrid fans in this chat right now that are all saying get rid of Mbappe as well because he hasn't won anything with the fucking team.
I bet he's a Barca fan or Atletico fan.
Oh yeah, the Mbappe wanted to leave Paris Saint-Germain to win the Champions League with Real Madrid, and he failed to do so.
And the funny thing is, if he goes back to PSG, PSG's going to go
Real
back to
Madrid
complete
wins the Champions
nonsense
League.
like they were.
I think I'd actually, you know what? No, I'd keep Trent and take a chance on him in the midfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's better as a mid.
I'm a PSG fan and I hate Mbappe. He just screwed us over 60 million in court. Fuck that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want him to come back to PSG. But why should somebody else take him when he's not winning?
And
This is the biggest myth about Mbappe. This is the biggest myth about Mbappe. Mbappe is living off of what he did at the World Cup for France.
Yep, and I remember that World Cup.
If
Like
we
it was
look at what
yesterday.
happened at PSG, him and Neymar are the reason why they would not fucking win because they were pre-fucking Madonnas and getting managers sacked because they wanted to go out and party. Sorry, Mbappe ain't worth a fuck. Is he a good player? He's a decent player, but he ain't what everybody thinks he is.
No,
The motherfucker still ain't showing up in the crunch like that.
nope.
I wouldn't take Mbappe at Napoli or Arsenal.
Nope. I wouldn't take him at City.
Which Premier League club could buy Mbappe? City?
Probably us.
Manchester United as well. If this money's going to start rolling in for them.
I think he
hate
played
Madrid.
Mbappe on the left wing.
Yeah, because I hate Madrid.
I hate Madrid. So does everyone on the damn
Mbappe is
panel.
better than Brahim Diaz, but the problem is here's the reason why. You can't just up and root everything like this is FIFA and you're playing manager mode and you clear out an entire team to build your own team. You have to look at what just happened with Liverpool. Liverpool just tried it and it showed you that it didn't work. Yes, they're going to get Champions League by default because the whole league is shit to begin with. But at the end of the day, I would keep Brahim Diaz for continuity, and you need guys off the bench. You need to keep the locker room stable. Mbappe is somebody who fucks up the locker room. He's not one of those super. Carlo Ancelotti said it best. Top player means top professional. He is not a top professional, and neither is fucking Neymar. That's why I'd get rid of them. I'm not saying that Brahim Diaz is a better player than Mbappe. I'm saying overall, if you would actually run the team properly, he would never be there.
No.
The problem is Perez. Perez wanted to rebuild a new version of the Galacticos, and it hasn't worked out since what's happened with the exit of Ancelotti and everything else. It just hasn't worked out. And Mbappe is thrown off the balance of that team. Whether we like it or not, before Mbappe got there, Real Madrid won 2 doubles in 3 years. Sorry, the proof is there. That's why I say if Vinny didn't turn into this little fucking bitch where he was bitching and moaning all the fucking time, he should be riding high as the main man at Real Madrid. He's fallen off a cliff the last 2 years.
And how much of that is down to Mbappe coming?
I think all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
I think all of it. Because Vinny sees how Mbappe acts at PSG before he came here and took it on himself. And I also personally think it's because I would say 80% is Mbappe, 20% is Vinny. Because Vinny thought that as soon as he became the main man when Karim Benzema left and Modric left, he could act whichever way he wanted. Vinny wasn't acting the same way when Benzema and Modric and that leadership was still there. He wasn't acting that way at all. And to me, I think that's also part of the reason why.
Yeah.
Karim Benzema should never let.
It
is
what it is. It is what it is.
Omar, I agree with that. Mestuano to Arsenal. I don't know about all that. I like him. I don't know. My team is Liverpool. Our problem isn't who we signed, it's who we didn't sign. I agree and disagree with that. I think you guys did too much with the two strikers. I think you guys did way too much with them two strikers. Way too much with that.
Yeah. And also the issue with Madrid is that they still haven't replaced Toni Kroos, which is why their team hasn't been the same.
That's the reason why I would take a chance with Trent. Because Trent's ball playing ability to seek out passes and everything else, he's very good at. I would try him there. If it doesn't work out, then get rid of him. It is what it is.
But look what happened in the Euros when you put him in midfield. Gareth Southgate played him next to Rice and it didn't work. Trent in midfields.
Again, who did he play next to?
Rice in the midfield.
That's
Do you remember in the Euros?
Exactly the reason why it didn't work.
Oh, what's that, Euros?
Because he's playing with Rice. You put him in the midfield, you got a potential to put him in a midfield with Tchouaméni and fucking Freddie Valverde. That's a much better midfield than what England had to offer when he was playing in the midfield. If you got Tchouaméni to just sit back and defend and cover for Trent, all Trent has to do is just do this. He could be a sweeper midfielder. Pick your passes out, find your players that are going all over the place with the attack and go like that. And all you have is Tchouaméni sitting back. So, yes, he'll have to do a little bit of defending because he'll have to aid out Tchouaméni, but he also has the backup for the defense because when you look at Tchouaméni and Freddie Valverde, who can run forever, your defensive side is pretty much taken care of. You can use Trent as the other in a 3 to be able to pick passes out left, right, and center. Because when you look at it, when you swing him out to the right-hand side and you have him in the back line and you got Freddie Valverde the same side, you're taking away from Valverde's offensive capabilities going forward because he always has to come back and cover for Trent because Trent is horrible at defending. I'd rather have him centrally and already covered than have him put out here and have to take away from my attack to force someone back to cover him. That's why I would try him in the midfield. And if it doesn't work, get out of here. Go back to fucking England. We don't need you. That's the reason why that I would be fucking doing that. I would test it. His ball playing ability is fucking ridiculous.
It actually is really good. Like his ball playing, like a lot of people don't realize this and don't give him credit for that. Even though he's horrible defensively, his ball playing ability is remarkably. Yeah, it's insane.
Rice also selling out by sounding like an Arteta puppet. Lux, hop on the stream if you got time, brother. Hop on the stream. Yeah, brother, listen. That's why I say, even if you were to get a Carlo Ancelotti coming into this season, we're not winning the league the first year that they're here because we don't know who's hurt and what the total depth of these injuries are. We don't know.
We don't.
Quaja, can you honestly think that if a Carlo Ancelotti came in next year, he got the exact same squad that he had right now, do you think we're winning the league?
No, I don't think so.
I think we make it a run at top 3 again, but not only for top 3, we should be focusing on the domestic trophies just to start building the winning mentality. You're going to need even if you get Luis Enrique in, you can get Luis Enrique and you can get whoever the fuck you want in. You don't know the extent of these injuries. Again, we got a manager. I don't know if I've ever seen I don't think I've ever seen a manager in press conferences try to hide injury reports.
Oh, you can't do that.
He's doing it right now because he doesn't want the online fan base to see what's going on. Again, nobody has updated what's wrong with Timber. Timber's been out for weeks, and nobody fucking is talking about what's going on with him.
Saka ACL, maybe Achilles, maybe. I don't know.
No,
brother, if he's got an Achilles, he's done for a year. If
that's what the reports have been talking about. Saka's been out with an Achilles injury.
Yeah, but I'm saying if it's a ruptured Achilles, he's gone for the year. He cannot play.
Maybe even more, because depending on the rupture too. Because if it's a full rupture,
doesn't matter if it's a partial or full rupture. You're gone for a year on Achilles. You have to relearn how to fucking walk before you start running at the beginning of the fucking situation with the Achilles. Big up the God, Vigilante,
big up Vigilante,
man, every time.
Oh,
yeah, we will need at least 12 months to be deprogrammed from Arteta's bullshit. Exactly. Ancelotti's going to come in. If you got Ancelotti or any top manager, they're going to have to reteach these guys how to play football. Stop this sideways passing bullshit. It's not an Achilles rupture. It's Achilles tendinopathy. When did they come out with that? Because they haven't updated.
I've never heard of that. Well, I mean, I've heard of Achilles tendinitis, but tendinopathy, I've never.
Cheeky, what did Pep Guardiola say about Ruben Diaz's injury? Did he say, like, is he out with a knee injury? Is it an ACL or what is it?
I haven't heard. He hasn't given a full injury update.
So
I have no idea.
Achilles tendinopathy is a common overused injury causing pain. Overused, which means he's been playing too much. Swelling and stiffness in the tendon connecting the calf to the heel. Well, you got multiple problems then if that's the situation.
Yeah, you got multiple
Arteta said in his press conference against Nottingham Forest the Saka had a hip problem and he still played him on.
He's having a whole leg problem. Tight calf muscles, low foot arches. Well, low foot arches will kill you, especially being a fucking football player. Frequently walking, running, or standing for work, particularly on hills, is the causes and risks. Frequent running.
What? Frequent? Oh my word.
Recovery time depends on the severity, but often takes several weeks to months to see significant improvement. Bro, Saka's done for the year. If that's the fucking case. He's done for the year.
Also, to answer your question, Kwaja, Ruben Diaz may come back on the 22nd. So that's literally tomorrow. So he could be back for the game against Burnley. But I don't know.
I don't even think you guys need him for Burnley.
We really don't, actually, to be honest with you.
You guys should be smoking Burnley 4-0.
Yeah. And we go.
And by the way, if they lose tomorrow, they're going to get relegated because Wolverhampton's relegation just got confirmed today.
Yeah, they just got relegated
after West Ham's draw. Wolverhampton's got relegated. Burnley will be next, and I think maybe the relegation battle. I think Nottingham Forest are safe. It's just down to Spurs.
It's down to West Ham.
Spurs.
Yeah, West Ham and that team from London.
Yeah.
Had they pulled out that victory before the last-minute goal by Brighton, had Spurs would have won that, I would have said, okay, West Ham's going down. Because Deserby finally
celebrated, and then they cried at the end.
The fact that those guys couldn't keep that goal out and they were still playing stupid, I think Spurs is done for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see Spurs staying up. I mean, if Spurs do get relegated, I just don't know how they're gonna start the championship season because they deserve.
I think they come right back up. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I'm still hesitant about that. Johnny, the championship is
the championship is not what the thing that you need to look at. Difficult. Spurs is one of the big six. Big six.
Yep.
They're not. If you've sold. The Premier League has sold this product and has marketed this product based on the big six with Tottenham being there. If Tottenham falls off and gets relegated, you don't think that they're going to do everything in their power to get them shady calls to get them right back up?
Yeah, but someone's on playback. But Gianni, who's going to want to play for Tottenham in the championship? I mean, let's just be honest.
Brother, it doesn't matter. The best players in the championship would want to play for Tottenham because they know it's a guarantee to go back up and bigger money once you get back to the Premier League.
Right.
That there is no way unless the Premier League is going to derail everything that they've marketed the last 5 years in the league with going based on the Big Six, unless they're going to go back to the Big Five and they're going to remove Spurs out of it and go with a whole new marketing package, brother, I'm willing to bet you money Spurs come back up.
No, I hear what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying, but
and listen, I don't want them to. Fuck that club.
I don't either.
I hope they stay in the championship and drop even further down. I hope the club goes fucking bankrupt. Fuck them.
How would they consider the Big Six club is a beyond me. Aston Villa should be in the Big Six club. Aston Villa's supposed to be there.
Aston Villa or Everton.
Yeah, they're bigger than Spurs.
Everton are bigger than Spurs. There's no reason for them to be in the Big Six at all whatsoever. But again, that's why I'm saying they have marketed, the Premier League has marketed Tottenham to high hell. So that's why I don't think they're going to keep Tottenham. That's why I don't think Tottenham is going to remain in the championship. I think Tottenham, if they go down, Tottenham will spend some money down there. They'll put together a team for De Zerbi to win. And here's the thing. De Zerbi knows what it takes to get through a second division. He did it in Italy. It's not like he did it with Benevento. Benevento is on 100th of a fucking budget that Spurs is on, even with Spurs going into the second division. So he knows what he's doing when it gets down to the second division. I just don't think that the Premier League would allow a club that they have marketed like crazy with Spurs to be in the championship for as long as possible. I just don't see that. I just don't see it happening. I think they will force the hand and get calls to go that way for Spurs to come right back up. I just don't see them allowing that big money maker that they've marketed to fall the way that it looks like. That's just my personal opinion. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tottenham never comes back up to the Premier League. Fuck that club.
Yeah. No, that club sucks. No, to be honest with you, Johnny, I don't think if Tottenham, I wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham stay up. And to be honest with you, I actually think they might stay up. As wild as that sounds.
And if Tottenham stay up, Arsenal need to be picking the bones out of players that want out of West Ham.
Yeah.
Jared Bowen is the first player I'm giving a call if West Ham is the team that's going down.
Does Mohamed Kudus still play there?
No, Kudus is with Spurs.
Oh, he is with Spurs. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
I would take Jared Bowen in a heartbeat, especially if Saka's got problems. I'm taking Jared Bowen in a heartbeat. Make Bukayo Saka prove he's worth $300,000, and if he isn't, get rid of him.
Yeah, because he's never had competition either, which is how him getting £300,000 a week is mental, considering he's had no competition.
Yeah, no, he had competition. It's just they got rid of him because they wanted to center Arteta's project around Saka.
Jeez,
his competition was Nicolas Pepe.
Oh, he was a baller.
Yeah, Pepe, yeah.
Exactly. That's the whole reason why I'm saying at the end of the day, Leicester are going to get relegated to League One 10 years after winning the Premier League. Championship is tough.
I'm telling you.
The championship is tough, but again, the Premier League is a business, brother. The Premier League's business is more important than the success of clubs.
Yeah. And it's sad to see because Chelsea used to be this ruthless team that had Abramovich, and now they have that blue coat piece of shit.
The Premier League doesn't work like how the rest of the leagues do, where the big teams get more of the money and then the rest of the money trickles down. The Premier League, everybody gets the same amount of money at the beginning of the season. The only thing that's good about Tottenham going down is, one, it should get rid of this bullshit with PSR because and that's the saddest thing with Tottenham. Tottenham is one of the clubs that benefits from all the financial rigging that the Premier League does for the big teams. How the fuck do you have a step or a foot above everybody? You have already a leg up. You have a leg up on the rest of these fucking clubs to spend more money. Like, Tottenham has a leg up to spend more money than Aston Villa. But yet Aston Villa is succeeding more than this fucking bullshit is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it either. And the thing is, Aston Villa won a Champions League, although it was decades ago. They still won a European Cup more recently than Tottenham, and it was the biggest European Cup
last year. What are you talking about?
No, they won right, but what I'm saying is, right. But what I'm saying is that Aston Villa won a Champions League. Tottenham haven't, so they should be.
Tottenham was never, but Tottenham's never been the size of a club that Aston Villa has been. Aston Villa. If you talk historical, like what Quaja was saying, Aston Villa and Everton historically are bigger teams in England than Tottenham are. When it comes to successes and everything else, Aston Villa is a bigger team than them, and historically they're bigger than them. So, but the problem is that the way that the Premier League has been marketed, Tottenham is one of the main teams that they've marketed. Again, this is what I mean by it's funny. Yeah, exactly. Even Forest is 2 Champions League.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What are we doing here?
But at the end of the day, big up, Lux.
Big up, Lux. Good to meet you, man.
What's going on?
Big up, bro. Big up.
But no, it's bro, this whole Arsenal thing is fucking a shit show. This whole thing is a shit show. So the season needs to be over, and we need to see the season needs to be over already for me, and we need to see what the fallout's gonna be. But Arteta's gotta go. He's got to go at the end of the day. And I'm sick of all these guys glazing this motherfucker like he's a fucking genius.
No, you're right, Susan.
Martin Keown needs to be disowned by the entire Arsenal community.
No, he needs to be punched in the face, if anything.
No, he needs to be disowned. He should not be called a club legend anymore. I'm telling you, that dude is secretly hooking up with Arteta. He's secretly hooking up with Arteta. He's committing haram. He is secretly hooking up with Arteta. There's nobody who can convince me otherwise. The amount of bullshit that man comes up with to talk about how great Arteta is ridiculous.
I mean, if anything, it's complete asinine because there's no way. Like I don't know how much weed this guy smokes, but there's no way he can sit there, clean and not stoned, and sit there and say out of his mouth that this guy is the greatest manager of Arsenal of all time. I mean,
imagine giving Odegaard player of the match when you lose to Aston Villa. That's the worst thing. Imagine giving Odegaard player of the match when we lost to Aston Villa when Emi Buendia scored that winning goal. Yeah. How did he give it to Odegaard when it's supposed to be Tielemans was bossing our midfield? You could have given it to Rodgers, but why did you give it to our captain?
Odegaard was on the same level as Liam Brady. What are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? The guy's an idiot, man. The guy's an idiot. But Lux, what's your opinion on the whole state of affairs with Arsenal, brother?
Yeah, bro. So I just wanted to say, Gianni, only 10:15, bro. I can jump on because it's almost 1 a.m. here, bro.
Yeah, so we're not. This isn't gonna be a long one. Like
yeah. But no, every time you put in a request, bro, I gotta come and show you love, man. So I appreciate you asking me to jump on. But regarding Arsenal, bro, I just I mean, genuinely, I'm not surprised when Haaland scored, it was like a car drove by, like it was nothing. It was expected. I didn't expect any different. I wasn't surprised. If anything, I was surprised when we scored straight after they scored after Turkey's goal. To be honest, that was probably the biggest surprise to me that we responded so quickly. As expected, nothing new. What's shocking me is that because I saw it two weeks ago, it came out from Flash Score, which is the thing I use to get my updates about different clubs from. Arteta's their sources are saying around the club that Arteta's going to stay, even if he doesn't win anything. And then again, I just saw an hour or two ago, one of the BBC reporters said something very similar. So I think that's disappointing, man. I think there was a part of me that did feel he would be sacked, but it certainly looks like that's maybe not going to be the case, or maybe the Cronkies are testing the media response because Arteta has political PR anyway, and Arsenal control a lot of the media narrative anyway. So I think maybe they're testing to see the response, but yeah, Gianni, it's just very disappointing, bro. I think also just a sporting game was really something for me because obviously I watch sporting a lot, and I think when I was looking between two clubs, I didn't really see a golfing quality on the pitch. And frankly speaking, Sporting are the third best team in Portugal this season. They're not even the first or the second. I mean, they went third. I watched them yesterday. You know, Jose's still ruining my days or making it worse. Beat Sporting at home too. So you know, I can't escape the guy. But yeah, I mean, and the golf in class didn't seem that great for me between us and Sporting. If I look at Jenny Catamo, if I look at Gonzalez, if I look at Maxi Rojo, I mean, these guys combined cost half of Madueke, but you wouldn't be able to tell that if you look at it. So yeah, it's sad, man, and I think frankly, if Sporting took their chances, particularly Jenny and Maxi, in the second leg, then Arsenal would have lost. And frankly,
I think Sporting's biggest problem was they tried doing that whole build out from the back bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I like that Gonzalo Inacio, the defender. I like him a lot. I think I would love him to come to Arsenal as a defender, because I think at the end of the day, both defenders are going to end up leaving. I think Saliba and Magalhaes end up leaving. I would take Inacio, and I would take that Mario Gila from Lazio to replace the two of them. If we got to start looking at replacements, because both of them are young, they're competent fucking center backs, they're good one-on-one. But the biggest problem that Sporting had for me was they didn't take advantage of how open our back line was.
Correct. Yeah, for sure.
Why they didn't have these guys test that back line on one-on-ones and try doing the whole let's speed it up to get to midfield and then slow down again. That's what stopped Sporting from winning, because Sporting should have ripped us apart, because they got a good team. And I'll tell you what, that I never say his name right. Big up Vigilante for hopping on, brother. Hope you have a good night. Hulman?
Yeah, Holman. Yeah.
Bro, that dude's a beast. I'd get him at Arsenal tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it became apparent that I think if he was there in the first leg, it probably would have ended 0-0, or possibly Sporting would have won. So there's also that factor as well. So yeah, bro. And but I just think the golfing, you know, like I think when I look at players like Sporting, if you look at Katamo on the wing or Gonzalez, it's like they look like they're more raw and more unfinished. But you kind of expect that when you watch Sporting, because they're not considered at that level. But when we have Arsenal, you're supposed to have finished articles. But Madueke, I mean, what are we doing here? That guy looks like he wouldn't even start for Sporting, kind of thing. But now he's the guy starting consistently for Arsenal. And I think that's just where we have the problem. So, yeah, bro, it's very disappointing. Not surprising. But, yeah, man, if Arteta stays and we don't win anything, I'm honestly...
I'm checking out.
I think I'm going to be on loan next season at Sporting, kind of full-time kind of thing, because I don't know, man. And also, when I was a kid, about 8 or 9, my mum, the first shirt my mum actually bought me was an Atleti shirt. So I think I'm going to just be like, Mom, I'm going back to Atleti.
Bro, you know what? That's one of the projects that I can't wait to see what ends up happening in this new year with Simeone leaving, because there's talk Jurgen Klopp is going to go there. And
I would watch that.
And that the new ownership wants to get serious about spending money and constantly with Barcelona and Real Madrid. I'd love to see how that plays out with them going in a different direction. I'd love to see what manager they're going to look at if it's not Klopp. But Klopp with them players at Atletico with a couple of tweaks, they're going to be a problem.
For sure.
They're going to be a fucking problem if Klopp.
For sure.
You imagine Klopp-style ball with fucking Baena, Lookman, and Alvarez as the front three?
Oh, man.
They're going to be ripping people apart. They'll be ripping people apart.
Absolutely. And I think because of the intensity that the players are used to under Simeone, even though he does it in his own way, I think they'll adapt well under Klopp, and I think it'll be great to watch. So, yeah, I mean, from that side, obviously, it's looking forward to it, but then still, it's just Arsenal still... You know how it is, how you feel with Napoli, right? It's your heart kind of thing. So when you see them struggling,
brother, Napoli,
man, it's just like, you can go on loan at another club, but you still want to see your team succeed. But yeah, man, when I saw that news about Arteta, and it's coming out more and more. It's very disappointing, but not surprising. I'm not surprised where we are. I'm not surprised we're bottling it. I'm not surprised that. I mean, one thing that is surprising me actually is that, and now the fans are blaming Berta. I can't lie. I didn't expect it to be that extreme. I think sometimes, yeah, man. Sometimes the fan base really surprises me. I don't know how they conclude these things, and
We're gonna blame the guy who's been here for just over a year compared to the guy who's been here for 6 going on 7 years if he stays next year.
right, and objectively, right, like Victor Gyökeres, the guy won the Gerd Muller Trophy, 100 goals in 2 seasons. Who realistically on the market, who was available better than him as a centre forward? If you look at Eze for the 10, even though Arteta plays him on the left wing, if you look at him as a 10 in the market, he's one of the best picks out there. So Berta did very good in delivering a 10 in the top 9, you know. So I don't know how it's his fault, bro, but yeah, the fan base never ceases to amaze me, honestly.
Yep. No, exactly. Big up Zier. The Riyadh Air sponsorship plays a massive. Oh, good for them.
Amazing.
I'd love to see it. You also see the rumors that Chelsea is trying to get Simeone. Simeone ain't going there.
He's not going to Chelsea.
I don't think he'll go to Chelsea either.
I don't think Simeone comes to England, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think he's another one he doesn't know English. I don't think he really cares about going to I don't think he really cares about going to England. Same thing with Zidane. When everybody was talking about Zidane this, Zidane that, I was like, brother, Zidane's never going to England. He don't give a fuck about that. He really don't. I think Simeone's in the same boat. They're all saying that Simeone, if he's going to do anything, it's either he's going to take a sabbatical and wait for Kivu to get fired from Inter, or Inter is going to say, thanks for winning us a trophy. We're still going to sack you, and we're going to get Simeone in as the manager. That's what I think ends up happening. I don't think Simeone is going to England at all. I don't think he doesn't want to deal with that bullshit over there. But
I think, Gianni, the only hope for us as Arsenal fans for Simeone is if I believe he slightly fell out with Berta, if I'm not mistaken, though. But hopefully, if they look to reconcile, because they did have a good relationship and they did have some successes, and then maybe this is me being idealistic. But if they said, look, Berta said, look, come Simeone, and also we'll give you Alvarez, maybe then Simeone could consider something like that if Arsenal presented a strong enough package. Because salary-wise, obviously, I know he earns a lot of money at Atleti as well. So maybe from that perspective, but that's me being idealistic and hopeful more than anything else. But I would certainly take Simeone at Arsenal. I don't think he's my number one, but I'd take him for sure.
Simeone's on my short list of 4 managers that I would look at if I'm Arsenal.
Yeah, he's on my 4 too.
Short list is Carlo Ancelotti. People can still keep trolling as much as they want, but my boy keeps proving me every time I say him. Roberto Mancini's another one I'm looking at. I'm looking at Diego Simeone, and then the 4th, it all depends, because people are like, oh, go out and get Klopp. Klopp is not going to betray Liverpool. Klopp is not going to betray Liverpool. He's not.
No, I don't think Klopp would come to Arsenal.
He's not coming. The 4th guy, honestly, I'd look at Tuchel. I'd look at Tuchel. Or Conte would be like 5th or 6th. Conte would be further down the list for me to come to Arsenal. As much as
he's further down my list.
I think Conte, if you wanted to do a quick fix for 2 years, if you told Conte you're going to guarantee him 8 players across 2 years, a certain amount of money being spent, and you get to do what you want with the tactics, I would take Conte, because Conte will win trophies. Conte, if you invest 8 new players into the team, you get rid of some of the dead wood, and you make the defense even stronger under Conte, because Conte, to me, takes Timber, Saliba, and Gabriel to the next level, just because of the mentality. The mentality that Conte will instill in those guys to play, it will take him to the next level.
Yeah.
And he did it. No. I would not try Mourinho. Mourinho is not the same Mourinho that he was.
No, I wouldn't want Jose either.
If this was Jose leaving Real Madrid or leaving Chelsea the second time, I 100% would go after Jose Mourinho. But Mourinho since then with Spurs, with Rome. No, I'm not taking a chance on Jose Mourinho coming to the team.
He's not even going to win the league in Portugal. He's going to finish at best second. So no.
Yeah, exactly. No.
I'd take obviously it's a pipe dream, but Luis Enrique would be obviously a dream at Arsenal.
Yeah,
of course.
But same thing. I don't see why he would leave PSG. He's got it made in heaven over there.
Yeah.
He's got it made in heaven. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if PSG comes a call into Saliba this year.
Yeah, especially if we win nothing. I agree.
Yeah. There's 11. We were talking about it earlier. There's maybe 11, 12 players that I would keep on the team. Half of those fucking players could go to any other club if a club came in and offered money. Half of those players could leave. So what's here to keep Saliba and Magalhaes? Arteta? That motherfucker's putting everybody's career at risk right now with the way he's playing them injured. Why would they want to stay? Saliba, I could see going home. Magalhaes can go to any fucking team he wants because he's one of the best.
Come to City, mate.
I wouldn't be shocked if he went to City.
Yeah, come to City, my guy.
If Magalhaes went to City. Would not be shocked whatsoever. I would not be shocked if next year it's a Magalhaes and Gahey center back pairing for City. Would not be shocked by it one sec. Would not be shocked by it whatsoever.
And we have Dalman to be the KDB replacement. Oh yeah,
Dalman. I don't think Dalman won't go to City if he leaves.
Why not?
Because Dalman is a player that I think goes to Spain. I don't think if Dalman stays in England, it's because he wants to get top dollar at Arsenal for a little bit, and he sees what Saka got being the new center of a project. I think that's the only way Dalman stays in England. If Dalman leaves Arsenal, I see Dalman going to a Real Madrid, a Barcelona. Again, depending on where the money is, I could even see him going to Atletico. If you got a club there or somebody of that ilk that's now got Atletico continuously competing, I don't see Dalman going to a different English team like that. I really don't. Not with the way he plays. His style fits La Liga to the T. I don't see him going like that, to be honest with you. Or here, I could see Dalman. Omar's funny. We could use Dalman for that right wing at Madrid. Yeah, I could see him landing at Madrid. Hell, I'll be honest with you. If PSG ever sold one of the guys, if they sold Dembele or they sold fucking Vara long term, like Dalman gets developed up till he's 2021, I could see Dalman being a replacement for Vara or one of those guys. I could definitely see that happening long term.
Gianni.
No, would not take Nagelsmann at Arsenal.
No. Gianni, what's strange about Arsenal's situation as well is like if you look on paper, the actual squad, fundamentally it's good. And it's just the fact that how they've been mismanaged to the point where they've been run into the ground and injured and destroyed. It is resulting in the new manager coming in having to do a form of a rebuild, which is absolute madness. It's literally not
$1 billion spent.
Right. And it's not a rebuild in the case where you have problematic players or attitude-wise, or they're coming to end of their careers and they've won a lot and you need to do high turnover. It's none of that. The managers just destroyed them fundamentally by mismanagement. And that kind of a rebuild is the worst because it's like, as an owner, if you're looking at your assets as the players, your manager's just destroying them. He is destroying your assets through mismanagement. And I think that's also why when I look at if it's true about the Cronkies and they want to keep him, I'm just like, bro, like what? This guy is destroying it. But then they'll probably say, yeah, but he's bringing in cash flow. Yeah, he's bringing in cash flow, but he's also destroying your assets. So surely there's another guy that could get you more bang for your investment, essentially. But it's also what you said very rightly, that they use Arsenal as the assets. I mean, they literally did it during COVID, as I said in the comment.
Yeah.
So they loan against it, and then they take it out. They take out loans and financial instruments. And then I read that they made the debt of the Emirates into a fixed bond, which just shows you like the mentality of how the Emirates how the Cronkies view Arsenal inherently. So yeah, bro, it's quite complex.
The problem is that Arsenal isn't worth, again, right now we're still standing as the third biggest club in England. But again, you have to look. The problem is when you talk about sports nowadays and you look at these ownerships, you have to step outside of the realm of being a fan and strictly talking about the sport. You have to look at the financials now. It's a part of the game because you don't know who your ownership is and what the situation is. When it comes to Arsenal, like I said, the SoFi Stadium alone is worth more than the fucking club.
Yeah,
the stadium alone is worth more than the club. It's nearly worth double the amount of what Arsenal is worth. So when you take into consideration it from that aspect, as a business, when you look at it from the mind of a business person, you want your financials to be straight. They're always going to be worried about what makes them more money. Arsenal, they sell more merch than the Denver Nuggets, but the commercial agreement that the NBA has with the ownerships, they're bringing in more money with a low market team in the Denver Nuggets than they are with Arsenal because of how much money you can shave off with NBA. Again, on a bad year, the NFL brings in about $20 billion a year. The Premier League right now at best brings in 9.5, 10, maybe 11 billion. You're not even close to that. It's not even close to that. That's the reason why they look at it the certain way. The only thing that's keeping me positive with Arsenal is I don't think they would bring a guy like Berta in and allow the changes that Berta has brought into the club. And you look at the amount of board members that have walked out because of Berta. That's the only thing that's keeping me somewhat positive about Arsenal going forward, that Arteta will leave. Because like you said, if you look at it, if you're strictly business and Arsenal is your only asset, you have to look at it the way that you were saying. Your business assets are your players. None of these players are going to be, you're not going to make anything back off these fucking players. Again, we're talking nearly 40 million pounds just to buy out players. And that goes against your books for a year. That's just to buy out Odegaard, Jesus, and Havertz. We haven't even gotten to fucking Saka yet. Saka's 15 million. So you add Saka to the mix, you're talking 55 million if you're able to buy him out on just base salary. If you're talking about salary with the bonuses, you're talking nearly 70 fucking million now. It's a whole different fucking problem.
So, and usually if you give compensations package, isn't it, Johnny? Sometimes you have to even pay out more sometimes than the contract's worth because you're paying it off early as a penalty. Sometimes you have to do that as well. Yeah.
And look at how that damages you long term.
Yeah, it's catastrophic.
You were talking about it last night. Arsenal's prize money last year was like 170 mil.
Yeah, it was 171 million.
Okay, 171 million. Look at how that gets affected this year. If that, let's say that's the same realm of revenue that they pull in is the 170 million. If you got to buy out those three bums, 40 million's gone off the top.
Yes.
40 million's gone off the top, just those three. And that's if it's base. If you add, like to what Luck says, if you have to pay him out more because of how it is, because it's a penalty getting rid of the players. Let's just say, for example, it's 60. You got 110 million left over. You still got to buy Hincapié. Hincapie's 50 million. So now you're down to 60. Well, what are we doing here? That's why now when you look at it long term, that's why they're talking about selling the youth academy because it's a profit. And even then, you sell the two guys. Let's say you get 30 million apiece because you ain't going to get 50 million for Wanyeri and Skelly because they ain't playing. If they were balling out, you could sell them for the 50 million that they want. You ain't going to get that. So let's say you get 60 million pure profit. What good does that do? You still got to buy 4 more fucking top quality players to get these going anywhere because you got an incompetent, dumb fuck manager.
Correct.
So, and that's why I said Arsenal is starting to follow the same trajectory that Juventus did to why Juventus is in financial straits right now. That's why this summer is going to tell us everything about this fucking club. That's the whole reason why we're going to figure out what happens with this club. Because again, who are you going to sell for money? These motherfuckers that Sammy Mockbell retard tried saying that we're going to sell Odegaard for 80 million pounds. Who the fuck is buying him for 80 million pounds? And then you're going to take on that fat ass of a fucking contract. Nobody's buying him for that. You're lucky 20 million pounds for Odegaard. When you look at that fat fucking contract you got. Same with Havertz.
Yeah.
They're saying that if Arteta stays, Havertz is getting an extension. For what? What has Havertz done to deserve 300,000 pounds a week? That's what I'm saying. Well, you got nothing. Jesus. Oh, maybe we could sell Jesus for 30 million. Who the fuck's buying him for 30 million?
No.
Who the fuck are these people coming up with these numbers? Jesus can play for my high school team. What the fuck? That's what I mean. It's like, what the fuck are we talking? And then you look progressively, everybody else is getting worse because of the injuries. Rice was a 100 million pound player. If Rice gets a major injury, he's no longer a 100 million pound player, and you fucked up with him. Gyökeres, you're depleting his value
massively.
You're not letting him play. He's 60 million that you're going to take a loss on, and he's getting paid 200,000 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Here, Trossard, we were supposed to sell for 20 million to Villa. No, we got denied because of PSR. Well, you got denied because of PSR, and now he got bumped up double his contract. Trossard is 180,000 pounds a week. What are we doing here?
Exactly.
Who wants
Fenerbahce came in as well, Gianni, didn't they? Fenerbahce came in as well. I think they offered a good amount for Trossard, and we also turned it down.
They offered 20 million euros. They wanted 20 million pounds, and Fenerbahce said no, which they should. Well, again, if you're going to start at the negotiation route, because this is what you also got to remember when you're selling players. When you get rid of guys like this, they got to renegotiate their contracts. Ain't none of these teams outside of England paying them crazy fucking wages.
No.
Trossard's making over 700,000 pounds a month. Who the fuck is paying him that?
700,000 pounds?
180,000 a week. 720,000 pounds. It's 720,000 pounds a month that you're paying Trossard. So when you take into consideration the full year, it's just under a $10 million contract. That's what I'm saying. Where is this retention value of selling players? That's why I'm saying you don't have that. We're basically running into the exact same scenario we were in when Arteta first walked in.
Right.
Remember, all them bitched about all these big contracts. Remember, the first person they bitched about was Aubameyang. Aubameyang got the 300 or whatever the big fucking contract was, and he was the problem. Well, no, he got moved out to the left wing and asked to become left wing back, depleting your guy's fucking contract value. Because Aubameyang, whether anybody likes it or not, was one of the top, in my opinion, top 10 best strikers, maybe even top 5 best strikers in the world when he was at Arsenal.
Sure.
No, he's a top 4. He's the closest thing to a proper center forward we had since Thierry left. There's no question.
Isn't he also the fastest player to 90 goals in Arsenal history or some shit like that?
Yeah, he must have been, because it would have been quicker than Thierry, because initially Thierry took a bit of time. Yeah, it must have. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it must have been.
He's like the fastest goal scorer that Arsenal's had to like 90 goals. I definitely believe it was 50. He was the fastest too.
Yeah, he would have been 50. Yeah.
So
I think he still holds that record. If I'm not
thrown
mistaken.
to the side by Arteta, like.
Oh, the legend! Hop on, brother, if you got a sec. I'd love to talk.
Oh, Aaron. Big up, Aaron.
Big up, Aaron.
The legend is back. The legend is fucking back. I'm so happy Aaron's back, man.
Yeah, top guy, man.
That's the problem. We have too many. The financial problems that are hitting this club is the biggest fucking problem that's hitting right now. It's the biggest problem. You have players that can't play. I mean, here, Eze, for all those who didn't realize it, when everyone's asking why did he take Eze off, Eze indirectly told Arteta to go fuck himself. Because if you look at where Eze's player position was, he was not playing as a left winger. He was playing left side number 10 to create opportunities to go and score goals. That's why he got taken off the pitch, because he wasn't listening to Arteta for the bullshit. So the funny thing is, if Arteta doesn't walk because he doesn't win any trophies, you either need the players to wise up and have a player revolt, like how old Chelsea players used to do all the fucking time, or the fans got to start protesting and start walking out during the game.
Yeah.
Once you start affecting the bottom dollar, it'll change. Trust me, it'll change. If you get a sold out crowd at the Emirates at the start of every game, and as soon as the 5-minute mark happens, and 40,000 walk out of the fucking stadium.
Oh, I agree. The Cronkies will act.
They will turn that ass right around and start spending and making the team win. 100%. It's been proven all over the world. Doesn't matter if it's in England or America or wherever. As soon as the owner's money starts getting affected, the owners straighten up and start making sure their team wins so that there's no unrest amongst the fans. They don't want to deal with that shit.
Right.
Facts. The problem is that's not going to happen to Arsenal because the Arsenal fans are happy with this absolute nonsensical state of this team. So
and shout out to Gunnar Rieken. He made a very good point on the show with Waffle Don. He goes, "Do you guys even think that Arsenal's a big club anymore?" He goes, "I feel like with the mentality of how we're running, we're a mid-table club." And I said, "I 100% agree. The mentality is the problem. The standards are the problem. We are running like a mid-table club. The fact that everybody is happy to just be competing is bullshit. You're not one of the big three. Again, we've gone from the third biggest team in England to potentially this year, Manchester City has passed us on trophies. We're now fourth. Yeah. Because
the worst City team they said in recent history, Gianni, at that as well.
It is.
It is.
Look at all the teams. Go from 2010, 2011, the season before Mancini won it with Manchester City. From that point till now, this is the worst City team on paper. The team
we're the best we've ever been, they said. That's what they said. We're better than the Invincibles.
Yeah, exactly. They say that this team is better than the Invincibles, but you already lost 4 games. The fuck are we talking about?
5 games, actually, but still.
But that's what I mean, bro. You look at City. Look at the team that won with Mancini. You think this team's better than Rodri?
No,
Rodri right now is not better than Yaya Toure back then.
No. Pico Guerrero and
Kun Aguero, freaking Clichy, Joe Hart,
Kun Aguero and Jaco as a front line. Haaland's probably the only player that's better than them two guys. But then Samir Nasri is better than the wingers that they got right now.
Yeah, Semenyo was shocking against Arsenal as well. My God.
Yeah.
Nah, he was terrible.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You realistically look at it, this is the worst City team. And then you talk about these fucking idiots. You got Martin Keown hopping on saying, if the league should be worried, if Arsenal win this year, we're going to go on a 10-year run of being dominant. Brother, what fucking crack are you smoking?
If anything, he's smoking marijuana. Big up 420.
No, he ain't smoking no fucking marijuana. Trust me. He ain't smoking.
Yeah, no, that's something else. That's laced with something else.
Yeah, that's fentanyl or fucking meth. Is what Keown is smoking. Not no fucking weed. Trust me. Weed doesn't make you think that stupid. You do dumb shit, but you don't think that's stupid.
Fair enough. What's crazy to me, Gianni, about Keown as well is like we saw him representing Arsenal at the Champions League draw. So how can he even be presenting on these sports outlets because he can't be objective? Like that's so crazy to me. Like it's openly paid shilling occurring. How can you be at the Champions League draw representing Arsenal and then be on these punditries and you're supposed to be objective? Come on, man. Like, pay.
Bro, did you watch the video of him and Simon Jordan this morning?
No, I didn't.
Bro, everybody on this panel and in this chat, go watch. It's a 28-minute video. It's the video where they started letting phone calls come in. All you got to do is watch the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
Listen to the bullshit that this fucking idiot Keown is saying. This idiot is blaming the injuries again. He goes, oh, the whole reason why Arsenal didn't win is the starting right side isn't there.
Really?
And Timber are not there. That's why we lost the game. What the fuck you talking about? Because Simon Jordan immediately turns around and goes, really? That's why? He goes, what happened against Liverpool? What happened against Nottingham Forest? What happened against Brentford? What happened against Wolverhampton? What happened with those draws? And you can hear Keown try to switch the narrative and go, no, it's the injuries. We'll talk about the results at the end of the season. It's like, bro, what the fuck you doing here, bro? You're a legend of this club. Why are you talking like an idiot?
I know.
This is why I'm saying nobody can convince me that him and Arteta are not hooking up. They can't convince me. Keown and Arteta text one another. Did your missus get mad at you? Yeah. Did your missus get mad at you? Yeah. Let's go run up to the cabin, Arteta.
You're wilding, bro.
And not only does he say, let's go up to the cabin. Before they hang up, Keown goes, Arteta, bring the light bulb and the lemons. before they eventually go and commit haram.
Oh man! Speaking of haram, Gianni, that's another thing. It just reminded me about Atleti. I've seen so much about people slamming Simeone, haram. The fact that people say that in modern day Simeone also shows you that they don't watch Atleti week in, week out. He's absolutely not playing haram week in, week out.
Yeah, do you remember the game against Atletico Madrid? Everyone was talking about it's the haram ball derby between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. Yeah, they're going to see it again.
Yeah, but see, but here's the thing. It's funny how history repeats itself. Atletico's in the same position that PSG was last year. They're a different team now that they got Lookman. That attack is completely different now that Lookman's the starter instead of that guy, Nico Gonzalez, that winger.
Right.
Completely. Yeah. And again, I ask people who are like, oh, we could win the Champions League. Really? You think Ben White after the way Mosquera got turned inside out in the game against City, you think he's going to stop Lookman?
Right. Mosquera was so bad that he had to bring on a barely fit Ben White to come on. That's how serious the situation is. That's how serious the situation is. No, bro. And Simeone's wrapping them in cotton wool. I just read today that Sorloth and Lookman are training separately because they don't want them to be injured. So he's going to rest them for the next 2 La Liga games this week, and then they're going to be all at our throats. No, man.
Yeah. And then this was the other good thing that Keown said this morning. He goes, oh, we missed Calafiori because, Calafiori is important to the buildup. What? What? Calafiori is important to the buildup. Brother, what you think's going to happen when Calafiori goes up against Alex Bain or Simeone's kid?
Right.
This motherfucker.
Correct.
Same thing. Hincapié didn't have that great of a game because he's playing hurt.
He did.
That's the problem. He's playing hurt. Calafiori, listen, I wish Italy would have made the World Cup and Calafiori got hurt at Arsenal, so he wouldn't have made the national team. But that didn't fucking come to fruition. But at the end of the day, and then it's like, again, I say this all the time. You look at fucking, you look at the matchup against Leverkusen. That striker, and even not so much with Sporting, just because it was to Sporting's detriment. But when Luis Suarez got on the ball, he was causing us problems.
He was. So particularly the first game.
Julian Alvarez and Griezmann. You had a 19-year-old at Bayer Leverkusen giving you fucking problems in that matchup. That 19-year-old gave them all the smoke.
He did, indeed.
So what you think's going to happen now with an informed Griezmann and Alvarez? That goal that Alvarez scored for the Copa del Rey was sick.
Ridiculous finish.
And you think we're gonna beat them, especially if they got a fully healthy midfield? You think fucking injured Rice, Zubamendi, and this bum Odegaard are gonna fucking deal with fucking Pablo Barrios and Marcos Llorente? It ain't fucking happening.
Impossible.
It ain't fucking happening. These guys, I do not want this to happen, but I could see Atletico possibly smacking the fuck out of us in Spain.
Yeah, so can I.
I have a funny feeling that
so can I.
Diego Simeone's going to have something for us.
So do I.
There's just a funny feeling that I have that's going to be the icing on the cake for the year and again for the problem this. If you lose and get knocked out to Simeone, you have to pick yourself up and recover from the loss on the road against West Ham.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
It's fighting for survival, fighting for everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's insanity. Quaj, I see you're going to bounce. We're going to wrap too because we're going to do an early night tonight. I'm not doing what I did last night. So, but big up to everybody that stopped by for the conversation.
Big up, bro. Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate you every time for hopping on. Appreciate all the legends that jumped into the chat. Big up Black Crow. Big up Catholic. Big up Vincenzo. Big up Aaron. Big up everybody that stopped by. Tabo, appreciate you hopping on. Man. Jim. Quaji, you want to shout your channel before we bounce, brother?
You've got my first channel. You can go and subscribe to me. You've got my second channel as well. You can go and subscribe to me as well. But all in all, I'm just going to chill out, forget about anything that happened. Obviously, say you're going to go top of the league with the highest goal difference. If we'd wrapped up this league title, we would have not been complaining about it. But it's back to square one again, lads. Nothing we can do with this manager.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, do you want to shout your channel out at all? I know you're doing your thing as far as work. You want to shout your channel at all, brother?
Yeah, no, bro. Just J-Lux videos. I haven't posted in a while, but I'm always in the guys chat and supporting. So yeah, man. And anytime they ask me to help on, I'm always happy to. So yeah, big up, bro.
Appreciate your time always, brother. Well, listen, everybody. Appreciate everybody's time. Appreciate everybody stopping by for the conversation. We will be back. I believe Wednesday or Thursday we will be back. I'm going to take a break for tomorrow. Wednesday or Thursday we will be back with another call-in, and we will be dissecting more of Napoli and Arsenal. And hope everybody has a blessed night, and I will see you guys soon.
Take care.
Guys.
Have a good night.